And good afternoon, gang. Chamber of Commerce Day here at Sherwood Park. We're on Field 9. Sylvan Hill's going to be hosting the Parkview Lady Patriots this afternoon. We got a doubleheader coming up for you here. The way it'll kind of work is Parkview will start as the away team. In the second game of the doubleheader, they will be the home team, so kind of a little swap-a-rooski here. We got Miss Williams on the mound here for the Bears. The other half of the battery is Dozier, or excuse me, it's DeVries. Going around the horn here, excuse me, it's Simmons there and Poza behind the plate. The other half of the broadcast team jumping in here now. I'm just butchering things here, my guys, so, you know.
It's all good. Glad to be coming on. Great day to watch some softball out here at Sylvan Hills Field. It's a beautiful afternoon, and I'm really excited to get our first softball broadcast underway.
Yeah.
So Simmons about to get us underway on the mound. First pitch comes through, swinging strike. That was a nice little pitch, blew right by her. That's another swinging strike. She's got some good speed on what looks like to be a fastball coming down the middle.
Yeah, good luck catching up to it right now.
Ooh, just a hair low. It was a little bit lower than the first two that she had thrown. She couldn't get her to swing at that one, though.
There it is.
And there it is, the first strikeout of the ball game. Nice pitching right there from Simmons, and we're hoping to see that for the rest of this ball game.
Ooh.
Devery takes a low ball one, so count's going to be 1-0. That time she gets it into the zone and evens the count up at 1-1.
Early on here, it kind of looks like she's trying to pepper him on the outside half there. We'll see if that's kind of the game plan going forward. Boom, there it is.
And that's another strikeout. She's on a tear right now. Simmons looking to try to finish the side here, 1-2-3. That one's going to be high, so for ball one. At the plate, number 17, Palmer, for the Patriots. She's going to hit this one, but it's going to slice foul to the right side. That evens the count up at 1-1.
I think big key for Simmons here this afternoon is going to be getting ahead in the count. Obviously, hadn't had a problem with that early on here, but something to kind of monitor as the game goes on.
I think she got a piece of that one, but still gets behind the catcher, and that's it's going to be another strike. Counts 2-1, or 1-2, my mistake.
There it is.
And there it is. She finishes the side. 3 strikeouts in a row. 3 strikeouts in a row for Simmons as they go ahead and jog off to the dugout. But you're right. She was getting ahead early in the count on the first 2 batters there, and there just wasn't really any coming back. She's really hitting the strike zone and making them swing at it, and they're just not getting any piece of it.
Does make it tough for a hitter, especially when you're kind of peppering that outside corner. Makes them think a little bit. Obviously, first time through the order, you're going to see kind of how far that strike zone, umpires are going to give you, things like that. And then even just a few of them just flat blew it right by girls. So should be interesting as this game goes on to see kind of what the approach, how it'll change for Parkview going forward. I know a bit of a younger team in terms of a program. In fact, I was talking to Coach Smokey Jones here beforehand. He said, with Parkview, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on at that school. They've got a lot of extracurriculars. So he said for a lot of years, a little bit of a struggle to get enough folks out here. But he said here the past couple of years, they've really grown the program. I think they're up to 18 girls now, which, even for a high school team, that's a lot. So it's encouraging for them. So we'll kind of see how it goes on. I think in this game, Sylvan Hills should have the upper hand when it comes to things. Obviously, with this team, they kind of the benefit. I know the big thing here is the transfer portal nowadays. And I think this team getting about 4 or 5 players from some other schools, knowing that with Coach Parr here, the pedigree that he brings to the table. Obviously, he was a staple at North Little Rock for many years, won a few state titles there, bringing his talents across the river, which I know for me personally, I was excited for. His daughter, Sydney, played at the University of Arkansas, was one of their big-time players during the time, and was really part of that era up there that kind of kick-started Arkansas softball to where it is now. So obviously him bringing a lot of pedigree here, and obviously right here, right out the gate with Abby Maiden here starting it off for the Bears. A lot of pedigree there as well.
Absolutely. I think you said it best. Coach Parr brings a lot of experience and knowledge to this team. I believe this is his 2nd year with the Bears, and I'm looking for them to improve on what they built last season, and just kind of go on an upward trajectory right now. So really excited to see what the Bears can bring later on in the season.
Absolutely. It's always a little bit different, right out the gate of a season. Now, obviously, they've got a few tournaments and things under their belts here at this time, but now you're starting to get into conference play. The ante's upped a little bit. The games mean a little bit more than maybe what they did in some of the non-conference tournaments, things like that. Obviously, you want to win those games, but now you really want to win these games.
All right, so the Bears are gonna come up to the plate for the first time this afternoon.
And I just got to say, respect the walk-up song choice here. A little old-school Dr. Dre here. Not a lot of these kids know anything about that, so big props to her on that one.
Absolutely. So the center fielder, Maiden, is going to be up to bat first for the Bears. And she's going to get hit right off the bat, and she's going to take her base.
Well, one pitch, one base runner. Off to a good start already.
She took that one like a pro. She didn't even flinch. I think I probably would have moved a leg or something if that was coming at me.
Even if I did take that one, I'm taking a minute or two to kind of walk that one off here. But she is a beast. I've actually watched her for several years now, and she is athletic as they come.
So the count's going to be 1-0, and the player on first base is going to steal second. So now they have a runner in scoring position. Runner in scoring position. The count is 2-0. At the plate right now. Is Overman for the Bears. And that one's going to be low again. So So the count's now 3-1. Runner has advanced again and is now on third. Doesn't really seem like they're paying too much attention to the runner out there. And that one's going to be high and outside. So now we're going to have runners at the corner for the Bears.
And I'll be interested to see how Parkview addresses this, because this is the old school runner on first and third. I know there's a lot of plays you can kind of run there. Maiden, obviously being a leadoff hitter, a lot of speed. So watch for the defensive adjustment.
Patriots right now, what you want to try to be forcing a grounder to the infield somewhere, maybe try to force a double play. No, I'm not really sure. It seems like they're just kind of taking their base. I'm not really sure how to address this. That's high again.
Well, I think, too, if you end up seeing a walk here, you'd like to see your catcher kind of go out there, settle your pitcher down, just be like, hey, you got to give him something to swing at. You're just giving him free bases at this point.
So she's going to take her base, and now bases are loaded. And just like you said, we're going to have a meeting on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher for the Patriots, as the Bears have the bases loaded. And coming up to bat, is, I believe that is Guy, who is the shortstop.
Yeah, and also we got a courtesy runner out there for Posa as well. And for those who are unfamiliar with the courtesy runner, you are allowed a courtesy runner for your catcher and your pitcher. Kind of leaves them a little wear and tear, obviously, for your catcher, too. Kind of keeps the game flowing to get him in and out.
So there is finally, I think that's probably the best pitch we've seen her throw so far, right down the middle, and she takes it for strike one. This time she's going to hit it up in the air. It's a foul ball. Can they get under it? And they do for the first out of the inning. Seemed like that meeting on the mound really helped for the Patriots, and now they have their first out. And
well, that's just one of those things you want to see. Just, hey, let them put the ball in play. Let your defense work for you. In that case, it kind of worked out for them, get the first out.
It's going to be strike one.
Now you're kind of hoping as a pitcher, can we get a double play out of this?
Oh, and it's going to. Is that fair? That was fair.
No, that's foul. That's foul. Oh, that's about as close as you can get.
Whew. It was close. It looked like it was right over that first base. I couldn't really tell though from this angle.
Oh, that was 3 runs right there. Now 0-2. You want to protect the plate here. Maybe a little bit more of a defensive swing here. We'll see what happens.
That one's going to be high. Trying to work back in the count. 1-2. Mitchell. It's going to hit this one nice, but it's going to go foul.
Oh.
She's just a little early on that swing, and she's cutting it to the right hard. She's seeing it well, just swinging just a hair too early, and it's cutting foul. And this wind isn't really helping either. This wind is kicking it. It's heading right down the right field line.
Yeah, now you kind of see the adjustment Parkview making out here, really hugging that line out there in right field. So leaves a lot of open field out there. So if she sits on it just a second longer,
she's going to smack
up the
that
middle.
one right up the middle. That's going to bring one across, 2 across, and they're going to hold up at the corners as the Bears now take the lead 2-0 here early on in the first inning. Nice hit right there. Double RBI single for Mitchell. And that one's going to be a strike, and Mitchell's going to take her base. She went ahead and headed on to second, and nobody even glanced an eye.
Yeah, a little tougher in the softball game. You got a hit by pitch there. But with the team as good as Sylvan Hills, Parkview wanting to play as much defense as you possibly can, they're probably going to just allow that first and third situation to just let the runner take second, probably more times than not, just to maybe set up the force outs at home rather than, kind of, because it's going to be real tough to roll a double play in here, especially with a team with as much team speed as the Bears have.
That's a good point. So now at the plate for the Bears is Thornton. The third plays third base. Bears lead at 2-0. Bases loaded. That one's going to be outside. Count is 2-0. Thornton. It's going to get a nice hit on this one. Is it going to get down? It does. It gets down right in front of the center fielder. That's going to bring one across, and they're going to stay at the corner. And that's going to be bases loaded once again, and she gets an RBI single. Nice swing and hit by Thornton right there.
Yeah, not trying to do too much with the ball there. I know when the bases are loaded, a lot of times, players will kind of try to really muscle up on one, try to put it over the fence. No, she just went right back up the middle with it.
That one's going to be outside, and Mitchell at third base looked at it for a second and just took her place back on third base. I don't think she would have had enough time to get there. Woo! She was super early on that one, as that one just looked like it went straight back almost. So the right fielder Thomas at the plate. Count is 1-1. She gets a piece of that one. It's going to go foul.
Stay in. Oh!
The third baseman for the Patriots tried to get under it and just couldn't corral it as it bounces out of her glove.
Well, you got to wonder too. You give a little life to a hitter. That's a free pass right there. See if she can take advantage.
She gets another piece of it. This one's straight up, and the pitcher's going to come away with it. So that's going to be out number 2 for the Patriots, and bases are still going to be loaded though. So not out of the woods yet. Going to see if they can't get one more out here to try to get out of this inning. If you're the Patriots.
And really at this point, just giving up 3, considering the situation right now, would be a bit of a win right now for the Patriots.
On the other hand, if you're the Bears, you got Tackett coming up to the plate, the left fielder. You just want to try to put one in play and not leave it here at the plate.
Absolutely. Again, as a pitcher, don't want to try to do too much right now. Like you said, just let them put the ball in play. Let your defense try to work for you. You've got force outs everywhere. So, as you see ball 2 go by there, you really don't want to try to aim the ball. You just want to rear back and throw. She's had some really good sequences here of late, but this isn't one that you really want to get away, because then you get back to the top of the lineup, and, we know the top of this Bears lineup can be pretty lethal.
That one's going to come across. Strike 1, as the count is now 3-1. She probably got the layoff of it signal from Coach Parr there to see if they couldn't get away with another ball. Huh. That one's a swing and a miss, though, so now the count's full. Bases loaded, full count. This is the type of moments that you get excited for when you come to watch a softball game in Arkansas right here. Let's see if Tackett can't put it into play. That one's low, and she's going to take her base. And just like that, they get another runner across home plate. That was good discipline right there from Tackett to
lay off that. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of those. You can tell it's a little low, but a lot of times just trying to protect the plate, maybe stretch your zone out just a little bit. So good discipline on her to lay off that.
That one's high. Count is 1-0.
Now, if you're the Bears right now, like I said, kind of coming back to the top of the lineup here, you really want to try to take advantage of the opportunity here to really blow this game wide open.
Absolutely. Especially when you have the Patriots having Rockins on the mound, who is struggling to find the strike zone right now. The Bears could really pounce at this and just try to blow the game wide open here in the first inning. And that's ball 4 as they send another Bear across home plate from a walk. Scores 5-0 now. 5-0 now for the Bears, and looks like Coach Smokey Jones is going to head to the mound and maybe make a change or at least have a meeting with Rockins.
Now you have to wonder too, especially in this situation, if you're the Bears. You know, I know when I was playing and you get into these situations, it's like, I don't want to be the third guy that gets out. I don't want to be the rally killer. Mm-hmm. So you wonder if a little bit of that competitive spirit kind of starts to kick up in them, and we'll just see what they do. Now, obviously, they're just taking what Parkview's giving them right now. You mentioned it, struggling at the in the circle there a little bit here. So you kind of wonder, does the approach change a little bit? 2-out approach. You don't want to really rub it in per se, but also at the same time, you're out there to do a job.
Mm-hmm. If you're Coach Parr, you like to see what the Bears are doing right here with the discipline at the plate, and that's Overman at the plate now for the Bears, the second baseman.
Ooh.
Looks like Coach Smokey Jones might have settled her down as she's starting to find the strike zone again. Counts 1-1. That one's low, and they're going to be able to steal home after the wild pitch. It hits the dirt and goes past the backstop.
Yeah, as a catcher, you got to get out there, use the body a little bit more on that one. Looked like the catcher kind of thought it wasn't really going to ricochet the way it did. Caught her on the outside arm, really bounced off, cost him a run there.
So it counts 3-1. Runners at third and second. And now the bases are going to be loaded once again.
And back into the middle part of the lineup here. Poza walked the last time she was up. She's got a big stick, though, fully capable of putting it over the fence. You have to think that like I said earlier, that always creeps up. You see bases loaded, you want to really put a charge into one. But being smart up there, taking what the defense gives you.
So the catcher, Poza, takes the first pitch for a ball. And she smacks that one, but it goes foul down the left field line. She got a good piece of that one, I thought. She's seeing it well, just got to get that timing down. A lot of times I really like, I think hitting is such an important part of the ball game, but your 2 outs, how you hit, when you have 2 outs, your clutch hitting ability, it's a really big part of everyone's game. And and she gets
roped it.
Nice piece of that one. It goes past the center fielder, and that's going to bring 3 around past home plate. And just like that, the Bears have broken it wide open now. So that's a 3 RBI double for Posa. She gets a nice piece of that one. Scores 8-0 Bears as they've really jumped out to an early lead here in the first inning.
Yeah, and the wild thing there, only done it on 3 hits. See if they can finish it out. Got her.
And they got her at first base. That was a nice hit right there from Guy, but she just couldn't beat the throw, and they're going to get her out at first base. I want to thank everybody for joining our broadcast. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it'll be time for our second inning of action here on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, brought to you by Natural State Sports.
PCSSD is a family-like environment. There's always smiling faces. There's greeting in the morning and the afternoon. They get a lot of involvement, not just parent involvement, student involvement, staff involvement, and I love all of that. I chose PCSSD because I was zoned here, but what made me stay was the support that we receive as a family.
And the best part about the day is my son come home with a smile on his face, that he enjoyed school and excelled in the classroom. It's real big to our family.
Welcome back to the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, brought to you by the Natural State Sports. We got a pretty nice ball game as the Bears have taken a massive early lead here, 8-0, and we're at the top of the second inning now.
Gotta like that score right there.
Yeah, I think Coach Parr's pretty happy with that score so far here. On the mound is Simmons for the Bears.
I think the one thing you really want to look for here, especially with such a big lead, is your defense still going to be sharp? Is your pitching going to be sharp? Despite the fact that we're up big, I wouldn't say insurmountable at this point, considering how the first inning went for both sides of this game. But you want to kind of see everybody on their toes, not necessarily taking a play off, looking like they're still engaged.
That was just a hair outside as Simmons just missed the strike zone, so counts 1-1. 3 at the plate for the Patriots. She gets a piece of that one, but it doesn't go anywhere. It goes right into the catcher's mitt, so the count is now going to be 1-2. The speed of that pitch, she couldn't get a piece of it. That one's going to be high. Count evens up 2-2. And now we have a full count as that was a low one. 3-2. Let's see what Simmons decides to do here. She gives her one right down the middle. Right down the middle as just froze her up. So that's going to be the first out of the inning.
Boy, that was nasty right there. From our angle, you can really see the spin on that pitch. Mm-hmm. Looks like it started maybe about that outside box chalk line, came right back in. Oh, nasty backdoor slider.
I've been really impressed with what Simmons throwing so far in this ball game.
Well, not to jinx it or anything on my side, but when you've got 4 Ks out of 4 batters right now, 3 of them looking, she's out here dealing like she's down there at the casino.
I like it. So now that was another strike, so counts 0-2. That was just a little high. See if she was trying to see if she couldn't get her swinging again.
Yeah, you like to see a little bit of a waste pitch, what they call them, once you get ahead 0-2, 1-2, things like that.
Oh, the breaking ball just got her at the knees, got her swinging.
Pull the chain on it right there.
definitely had it on a rope and just pulled it. Oh, man, that was a nasty pitch. That probably would have got me on the knees right there. I would have swung right through that one.
Not to get too ahead of ourselves or anything right now, but I'm pretty sure we might have a player of the game locked in. Like I said, I don't want to get too far ahead, but when you're 5 for 5, 5K, you keep that performance up. Ooh.
She's gonna bunt this one foul, and the catcher's gonna get under it and make the final out of that top half of the inning. How you doing so far tonight?
How am I doing?
I think you're doing great. I think you're doing great.
And that's the only opinion that matters, right?
Well, that's why he likes me.
Hey.
I'm trying to be consistent. That's what counts.
And you're doing a great job.
And if I don't, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
We'll leave it to them over there to kind of let you know here.
Jump on in. Not that I'm going to listen to either one of you, but
You gotta love the chatty umpires.
The chatty umpires. He was in a great mood too. He looked like he was having a nice time out there. You know, it is a beautiful day. It's just a great day to be at the ballpark, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Chamber of Commerce Day. A little windy, but that's all right. It's that time of year here in the Mid-South. You never know what you're gonna get. I think it was winter this morning. We got a little spring now. When the sun gets down a little bit, it might be a little more winter again. My man's coming out of his jacket. He's probably going to have to put it back on here. Maybe by the end of this game, you never know.
No, give it an hour, and I'll probably be throwing it back on. I'll probably get a little chilly. But, you know, the sun's out. I haven't gotten too much sun here as of late, so might as well try to soak it all in.
That's it. So defense crisp there for the Bears. You wonder, too, how aggressive are they going to be when it comes to being at the plate here. I'd imagine they might call the dogs off a little bit on the bases. But, again, if they're going to be aggressive, that's their game plan, and you just got to tell Parkview, hey, you got to stop it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all you can do. I think Coach Park, you know, I think every moment is a teachable moment in this game, and I think you want to take advantage of all the time that you have playing because this experience could help you on later on down the road for both teams. Both teams now are in a position, you know, it's still early on in the season that they could benefit off of any type of experience they can get out here playing.
Sylvan Hills do up 5, 6, 7 hitters. It's going to be Mitchell, Simmons, and Thornton to start us off. 2 singles amongst these 3 in the last inning. Mitchell with a single up the middle the last time. We'll see if she makes any adjustments. You might remember she roped a few of them down that right field line. We'll see if that right fielder maybe shades towards that foul line just a little bit. I know towards the end of that at-bat, she was about 2 feet off the line. So we'll see if she's still seeing the ball as well as she was that last AB.
That one's just going to be a hair inside, I think. So for ball 1. Good speed on that pitch for Rockins, but it was high, so it's going to be ball 2.
And you like to see the discipline there, especially on those high pitches. I know those high pitches, especially in softball, just the way the angle is with the ball, a little different from baseball. She pops this one up. Should be an easy out. Pops out to third base. But back to the point I was trying to make, laying off those higher pitches, because when they come out of the pitcher's hand, they look sweet. And it kind of got her right there on a little bit of a high one, too. So wonder if that might be a little bit of a strategy going forward for Parkview, maybe to get them a chase a little bit here, try to maybe take advantage of the over-aggression by the Bears.
Oh, she gets a good piece of this one as the center fielder going to get under it. She does. So those are 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second. And if you're the Patriots, you got to be pretty happy with the way you've started this second inning here. finally getting a little bit of groove. I feel like Rockins is kind of finding out that, you can throw it in that strike zone and let your defense go to work. So count is 1-0. Thornton gets a piece of it. Is he going to get down right to the left fielders? They make the final out of this second inning. So score is still 8-0 Bears, and we're going to move on to the third. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it'll... Okay. I thought we were taking a break, but we're still here. I might have to get me one of those hot dogs here in a minute.
Now, I will say here, having being a lifelong, well, I say lifelong, I've lived here in Sherwood for a long time. I actually worked at the ballpark here when I was a kid.
Okay.
And Steve, he's the guy on the grill. Mm-hmm. If you've never had a Steve burger, and this goes for anybody listening to the broadcast as well, you're missing out on life.
Okay.
The Steve burgers are second to none. Probably one of the better, ballpark foods in the state. I will put that up on anybody. Just enough seasoning on that. He knows how to cook them. He knows how to whip them up. You get a little melty cheese on there. I mean, now we're talking here. So, yeah, in between games, you go tell him, I need a Steve burger. They get you taken care of.
All right, I'm sold. Whenever we get a break, trust me, I will be over there getting one of those famous Steve burgers.
That's it.
Are you keeping track of the pitch count by any chance?
One thing I haven't done here, next go around here we'll be a little better on the pitch count. But I will say here for this, she's got to be under 20 pitches. Just taking a glance here. Of course, again, when you've been dealing the way she's been dealing, they're just looking at strike threes. A lot of them. In fact, they've only had one ball in play right now.
Mm-hmm. She got a piece of that one, but it's going to go foul. At the plate for the Patriots is Dozier, the left fielder. She's got a lot of speed on that fastball, I'm telling you.
Ooh, staying alive there.
Looked like kind of a defensive swing there just to try to get a piece of it.
Yeah, bottom of the zone there. Maybe not something you could do a whole lot with. Like you said, a little bit of a defensive swing, just hanging in there for another pitch.
Ooh, she got a piece of it. It's going to be down right to the shortstop and to first. Easy out right there for the Bears as they get out number one.
Somewhat encouraging sign there now for Parkview. Maybe they're kind of seeing the ball a little better now. Last two have been put in play. So, again, like I said, kind of encouraging for you. Now next step here, put it where they ain't.
So number 28, Morris. Morris, the right fielder for the Patriots. She's going to take a big swing at the first pitch for a strike. She got a piece of this one. It's going to roll to the third baseman, and they get it to first. Another quick out for the Bears as they have two quick outs with the score still at 8-0.
You can tell that the speed difference is really messing with the Patriots there at the plate. Way ahead on that one. She's been pumping gas there for the past few pitches. Slipped a changeup in there way out in front of it. Easy pickings there for the Bears.
So that's going to get in there for strike one. Another swinging miss. Strike two. Count 0-2.
Again, that's one of those high pitches. It looks real tempting. Hard to lay off of those a lot of the time. Woo! Tried to backdoor it a little bit there, nibbling on that outside corner just a bit outside.
She's got a piece of it, but it's going to go foul. So count still. Oh, count is 1 and 2. She's getting a piece of it, trying to stay alive there at the plate till she can really get one she can work with.
Ooh.
Oh, just got her looking there right at the plate for the final out of the third inning. That was a good attempt there. That was just a really good pitch. Hard to. She went for it and tried to see if she couldn't get a ball right there, but they called it a strike.
Yeah, from where I'm sitting here, looked like it started maybe in the middle of the plate, just right down the middle, kind of cut back towards the inside. Little different approach on that one, as she's been really trying to hit those outside corners a lot this afternoon here. So coming on the inside, just wasn't ready for it.
But that's going to lead us to the bottom of the third now, and coming up to the plate for the Bears is going to be Thomas, Tackett, and Harper. This bottom of the lineup for the Bears, they had some good discipline, I believe, earlier on in this ball game, and walked. I believe they all walked, if I'm not mistaken.
Thomas flew out her first AB. Tackett did walk and actually scored a run as well, and then we're going to get right back to the top of the lineup here. So 8-9-1 due up here, and if they can get back to that top of that lineup, they have been doing some pretty good work. Now, again, encouraging there for the last inning for Patriots. 1-2-3 last inning. A lot of flyouts, so you kind of got Sylvan Hills chasing a little bit, maybe a little out of their rhythm in that past inning. It did look like she was maybe going for around the knees a little more, get him on that uppercut swing, and if you get one in the air today, it's just going to hang her out there for a while with this wind.
Number 2, Nia Thomas.
All right, Nia Thomas, the right fielder, at the plate for the Bears. She gets a good piece of this one. It's going to go right to the left of the left fielder, and that's going to be at least a double as she holds up at second base as she gets a leadoff double to start this inning for the Bears.
Good piece of hitting right there. Took an inside pitch, just went with it, put it where they're not.
So high for ball one as Tackett takes the first one. That's ball two. So can you explain to me the run thing? I'm not too familiar with it.
So if I'm correct on the numbers, and we'll try to get this confirmed for everybody out there, but the way it'll work is 15, 12, 10 after 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, no. I was talking about her running at the plate. That's what I was
okay,
talking
I got
about.
you. I'm sorry. I totally misunderstood there. So
That's what I was talking about.
No, you're all good here. So that's kind of what we see in softball a lot of times, with it being a shorter field, slapping. So you'll see a lot of times with left-handers is they'll actually kind of basically, in essence, get a running start. So I know a guy in the major leagues, Ichiro, kind of the same concept.
Okay.
Don't really have to put a lot of heat behind a hit like that, especially with some of the faster runners out there. If you give them a little bit of a head start, as long as you're in the box by the time you make contact, boom. And right now, that's all I'd be doing if I was a left-hander. When you see a third baseman playing as far back as what Parkview's got, take that all day.
Okay, slap bunt. I just wasn't sure. I didn't know if she was trying to Happy Gilmore it out there, just like and smack it over the back fence.
Right. I mean, if they can get a hold of it like Happy Gilmore doing that, then more power to you, because you can sail one.
All right, count 2-1 for the leadoff hitter, Maiden.
Somebody you don't have to worry about slapping is Maiden here. She gets a hold of that one, but she is the perfect blend of speed and power. Don't let that leadoff hitter title fool you. She could put one over the fence. In fact, I think she's got a couple this year that she's put over, and probably one of the fastest players on this Bears team. So puts it in a gap or down the line, she's getting at least 2 out of it.
Maiden takes ball 3, and that fills up the count, 3-2. Great discipline right there from Maiden, and let's see if she's going to swing at this one. She gets a piece of it. It's going to go foul. Back behind home plate, and count still 3-2.
Getting a little aggressive there, but you like to see a little aggression even in a game like this. Maybe swung at one a little out of her zone on that one. But the kid's due for a hit here. Hit by pitch and then walk the second time up. You can tell she wants it.
She sends another one foul. It's a really good at-bat here from Maiden, and she's just racking up the pitch count. Oh, and she's hit by a pitch.
And another one.
That was a good job by Rockins. She was really trying her hardest to get her out right there. Unfortunately, she gets hit by the pitch, and she's going to take her base. So now bases loaded for the Bears.
Yeah, ducks on the pond here. You'll like the aggression there by Rockins.
Is this one going to get down? It does. It gets down right in front of the left fielder, and that's going to bring 2 across as Overman gets a 2 RBI single.
The old dying quail, as they say there, just kind of hit that one out there, kind of in no man's land. Tough run there for the shortstop. Obviously, with the top of this Bears lineup, as an outfield, you got to respect that. Give them a little space. Just kind of dropped it right in between them.
She gets a piece of it. Left fielder running back. This one, home run.
Let's go.
Home run for Posa as she sends it deep across left field and brings everybody home. As they all gather up at home plate to shower her with some praise. Nice shot right there from Posa. I wasn't sure if that one was going to carry, and it just kept going.
Looks like I got caught up in that jet stream just a little bit there. But yeah, that was a laser beam. Didn't really look like it had the distance on it, but just one of those that kind of floated on out there.
So that extends their lead 13-0 here in the bottom of the third. No outs still. And up at the plate for the Bears is going to be Guy. the shortstop.
And you got to feel for Parkview coming off the last inning where they went 1-2-3, got 3 flyouts in that one, and to come back and kind of the opposite thing happening right now, just out there just getting rocked. Now, if you're a pitcher, you have to be somewhat encouraged because if they're swinging at it, you're swinging at strikes. But unfortunately, they're really getting a hold of those pitches. So kind of that double-edged sword, a little bit of a catch-22, if you will, for Parkview. Throwing strikes, but they're hitting them.
You know, they really needed to take advantage of those first 2 batters, you know, being at the bottom of the order, because as soon as it gets to the top of the order, we know that the Bears can really swing the bat and make a lot of contact, and that's exactly what we're seeing now.
Well, that's the one thing here that Coach Parr has a little bit of a luxury is 1 through 9, good luck finding an easy out in there. I mean, obviously, you know, your 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters are some of your better hitters. But when it comes to that, the middle of this lineup is pretty sturdy as well. And then you've got all that speed with Thomas and Tackett there at the end. So it's almost once you get down to that point, it's like you're kind of in a 1, 2, 3 sort of setup just with all that extra speed. And we saw out here, you know, trying to go slap with it. So you know they've got a little speed built in. So not an easy out here. It's a tough day at the office here for Rockins.
That one's going to be high for ball 1. Oh, she gets a piece
that's a
of
shot.
it. That one's going to keep going, and it gets over the right fielder's head, and she's going to come into second. Now she's going for third, and she's going to get there safely. She's going to get there safely for a triple. Nice swing and hit right there. I thought that one was going to go out. The wind.
Yeah, wind's blowing out that way, so you figured, yeah.
It was close, too. It was probably just a couple feet away from being out. That one's going to go straight to the shortstop, over the head of the first baseman, and that's going to be a... Oh, she's going to get back to first base, and she gets there. So she's going to be safe at first base as they get another run across home plate.
Couple touchdowns on him now.
That was Mitchell for the Bears. Would that be an error, or?
I'd probably go E3 with that if I was the official scorer. Not that anybody's asking my opinion or anything, but probably one first baseman should have had. Looked like she took her eye off it for a second, kind of just assumed, I've got that ball. Popped right out of her glove. I know the sun maybe had a little bit to do with that as well. Kind of that time of day here where you're looking right into it.
She is looking right into the sun.
28's going in for 7. Okay, thank you.
And it looks like we've got a substitution here for Mitchell, number 28, coming out there. Now she's in that DP spot there, so only batting. And the way that kind of work, Coach Parr's got it set up, so we call it DP flex, where you'll actually have a player who only hits. We got a pop-up here.
And the first baseman's going to get under and make the catch.
Makes up for it. And look at that. Look at the aggression there. Tagging up on a pop foul out.
You know, Gonzalez has some speed, so...
she was just ready to use it right there. You don't see that often. And even then throwing the hands up like, I took a shot at it. It worked out.
I don't think I was even expecting her to do that, so I was kind of surprised by it
Looked
myself.
like nobody was expecting her to do that. Sounds like we've got an inquiry here from Coach Jones. Not sure what the question might have been.
Trying to get an explanation for something. Not quite sure what he was asking for.
And while we kind of hash that out, back to what I was saying about the DP flex. So what will happen is you'll have a player who bats. We got an intentional walk.
Okay, intentional walk is they're just going to go ahead and let Thornton take her base. And now coming up to the plate for the Bears is going to be Thomas, the right fielder.
Interesting that they would intentionally walk there, especially considering what the score is here. But I guess getting the force out on any base is kind of the school of thought there.
Right, they got one out, so maybe you can force a double play here if you get a grounder up the middle. Maybe get a grounder to the shortstop, try to force a double play at least.
But with that, if you're trying to do something like that, you really need your pitcher to just serve it up.
Right.
For him, let him put the ball in play. Again, you're kind of down here towards the bottom of the lineup, but Thomas last time up ripped a double down the line, kind of irrelevant. Now as she takes a 4-pitch walk.
Now batting number 13, Kamaya Tackett.
You know, if you're a pitcher and you're trying to get a double play ball here, I believe like high and fast might be your way to go. Try to get it in the strike zone, and I think you might be able to force it down.
And I think at this point in the lineup here too, I obviously, like I was saying earlier, 1 through 9 lethal here for this Bears team, but towards the bottom of the lineup, not a lot of power. So I would almost think you just put it right down Main Street here and just let them do something. And that's kind of the play there. Unfortunately, just mishandled it there.
And just like that, she got a little piece of it on the it's into the infield, and nobody could get that out.
And that's the other drawback there is you mishandle the ball a little bit, especially with that much team speed. It's got to be perfect in order to get that.
All right, so that's going to be the final score. The score is 15-0. The sportsman. Okay. For the sportsmanship rule, we're going to go ahead and get our player of the game, Simmons, over here for a post-game interview.
While Jake does that, what kind of maybe got lost in the sauce here is the fact that we got a no-hitter here. Simmons tossing the 3-inning no-hitter as part of that. 6 Ks, 2 ground outs, and 1 pop-up there. So absolutely dealing out there. Kind of a no-brainer player of the game for this one. And again, kind of throwing the 3-inning no-hitter. Sylvan Hills coming up with the sportsmanship rule. Big-time win for them. 8 runs in the first inning, nothing in the second inning. So you thought maybe there was a chance that Parkview could maybe try to claw their way back into this one just a little bit here. But unfortunately for them, Simmons just shutting the door on them, not really allowing them much of anything. In fact, no traffic whatsoever on the base pass. In fact, I say no-hitter, perfect game. 3-inning perfect game as there were no runners on base whatsoever for the Patriots. And again, a big-time win for the Sylvan Hills Bears. 15-0, a perfect game by Simmons. And we will get her over here in just a minute, kind of take us through a little bit of what she was trying to do, what the strategy was here, because from what I was seeing, looked like there were a lot of emphasis there on the outside corner. And we are back. We've got our player of the game in true Sylvan Hills fashion. Yeah, take a seat here. Take a seat here.
All right. All right, we're joined by Leighton Simmons here, our pitcher from our first game here this evening, and you were just throwing lights out. I was very impressed with what you were getting across the plate. They just didn't seem to have an answer for you.
No, thank you.
So, what was your philosophy? Did Coach Parr have you have any kind of strategy going into this first game?
No, I just try to hit my spots and pitch as good as I can.
Well, I was very impressed by what you were throwing in that whole entire game, and I'm sure the Patriots were as well.
Thank you.
Now, I will say this. Do you realize, and I know sometimes you're in the game, you kind of get lost in the moment, but you threw a perfect game.
Yes, sir.
Oh, see, she knew. She
was over there.
Knew.
She was actually over there taking a picture with the ball over there. It was, and now I see why. I didn't even realize that until just now.
Yes, sir.
Now, I guess, what were the spots you were trying to hit? Because from what I was seeing there, looked like you were really trying to emphasize maybe the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, I was throwing curve a lot and rise.
Now, when did you know you were kind of on? I mean, obviously you had 5 strikeouts in this one. A lot of them were looking, from the mound there. What were you noticing about their hitters? Was there anything that you're like, okay, I got this, or maybe they're chasing something a little bit, or just not really looking for a spot?
They were really chasing the outside, so we made sure to throw a lot of that.
Well, that's that's the way to go, because it obviously worked out for you guys. Now, when as a team, when you guys were out there hitting, it just kind of seemed like you guys were all over it. And when the pitcher's struggling to find the strike zone, it makes things a lot easier for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Seems like you guys, the wind was playing to y'all's advantage. As saw one go out. Was that wasn't a grand slam? I believe there's only 2 players on base on that one, but that was an exciting moment for you guys, getting to celebrate with her at home plate, huh?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate you coming on for this interview, Layton.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Congratulations on player of the game, and congratulations on a perfect game. Super exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.